Hi everybody. My daughter made an observation the other day that I thought actually she's got a point. So I'm acting upon it. So Lauren, if you watch this one, I did listen to you. So I didn't totally ignore what you said. Now she said that I talk about manners and rules quite a bit, and as dog trainers don't typically talk about that subject, actually a lot of you may not know what I am talking about. So she said, explain it. So that is what I'm doing. So this is what I think are manners and rules. Manners are the polite bits, but also the bits that actually make a bit safe. So safety conscious like things. Now, for instance, I'm not a big thing and never have been a big thing on dogs being dominant. I generally have never really bought into that. I tend to think most dogs are just excited and they want to get through the door because they want to get there first. And dogs don't have this. If they want to know where you're going, they generally don't automatically follow you to find out. They leap about in front of you and keep looking back and blocking your way. And so they get a bit exuberant, or some dogs do. Anyway, so for me, door manners are so that the dog doesn't barge through the door, knock it flying and break things, or knock you out the way, knock children out the way. So I would rather that they wait until I tell them they can go through the door. Purely, it is just a safety issue. Now, sometimes, I've got no problem with them going first. Absolutely no problem with them going first. But I'd rather that they actually don't just barge through the door. And it also comes in handy when you can open a front door to talk to visitors or see who's at the door, and they don't run out. You don't have to think, oh, where's the dog? Because somebody's rung the doorbell. You know full well the dog's not going to go out if they open the door. So food manners is not taking food off of any surfaces, off the floor, out of your child's hands, if they're eating an ice cream or eating a bit of cake, or even if they're sitting at the table. They don't, well, in fact, I tend to put rules around that. But, if the child's giving the dog food, different issue. But actually, if some people quite, are happy for their child to walk around with an ice cream or something in their hands. And you don't want the dog just going and nicking the food. So food manners is literally manners around food, not pinching food that is not supposed to have. So that is the sort of thing for manners, and there are other ones around, but they're the predominantly ones that most people deal with. Rules are things like you don't want them in the dining room, so you don't want a stair gate up, and but you don't want to have to keep kicking them out the dining room. They know that the threshold is where they stop unless you tell them to come in. Your rule may be you're not allowed up on the furniture unless I ask you up, or you're not allowed on the furniture, full stop. Another rule might be you're not allowed upstairs. Again, you might not want to put a stair gate up because stair gates just stop the dog going up. It teaches them absolutely nothing. It just stops them going up. It is a barrier unless you've got big dogs that can leap over the top of them. But that's all they are. They are just a barrier. It doesn't actually teach the dog anything. But brand new puppy, as long as you spend a little bit of time every day, you can teach them within roughly about a week not to go up the stairs. You have to proof it, but you can teach it very quickly, and it just like lots of little short tiny sessions, and over the course of a week it is very easy to teach. What else do I put as rules? I don't like back to manners. When you put the food down on the floor, I don't like the dog putting their nose in it as you're putting the bowl down if you're going to use a bowl. But then equally, I think we are just being bullies if we make a dog sit there and wait for 10 minutes. I mean, do you sit down at the dinner table with your dinner unless you're going to say grace, right? The dinner goes on the table, and once everybody sits down, you start eating. That's normal manners. And for a dog to put the food on the floor and then make it wait a while, I think, is just being, oh, where's my camera gone? Is just being a bit of a bully. I just think it's wrong. But at the same point, I don't want the dog's head going into the food. I don't know what's happening to this camera. I don't want the head just going into the food straight away. So that's a bit more food manners. So that's what I'm talking about in terms of when we're talking manners and rules. It's the little tiny bits that make living with you a bit easier. And these are relatively easy things to teach. They're not, haven't got a magic wand, not going to know them instantly, but you can incorporate their training in your day as you go about your day. The stairs is the only thing that I think you've, well, stairs and food manners are the things that you actually need to say, oh, I'm going to spend a little few minutes here teaching this. But we're not talking about half hour, we're literally talking 2-3 minutes each time. So things relatively easy to fit into your day. So I hope that helps. I hope that explains what I'm talking about when I'm talking about rules and manners. And so hopefully speak to you soon. Bye.